Welcome, my chingus, to episode 83 of This Week in K-Pop. In this episode, we will talk about Bastard, Hyorin, Bumkey Jooyoung, J Heart, K.Will, Lee Moonsae and Roy Kim, MC Hanhae, Melody Day, Owol, Pretty Brown, Sooljae, 40, Ultima and SB, The Stray, and Zico. I got them all down. There we go.
Steven.
My name is Steven, and that was not the third time we did that. And with me is my normal co-host, Josh.
Hello.
This Week in K-Pop is a discussion podcast that covers the last 2 weeks of K-pop music videos, or in this case, as it's our first episode of 2016, this is actually over a month, almost all of December,
Really?
plus a tiny bit of January. It was a month's worth of stuff.
True.
And each week, Josh and I pick what we think is the best song of the episode.
Yeah.
I hope you guys had a really great Christmas and a really
Happy
great New Year.
Yeah.
Hope 2016 has been great to you.
새해 복 많이 받으세요. That's Happy New Year in Korean.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that. 2016 has been kind of the same for me so far, but you know,
It doesn't really feel like a new year, to be honest.
Yeah, especially when you're like, you have school on January the 30th, or December the 30th.
Yeah.
And then New Year's comes, it's like, man.
You get one day off, and it's like, back to work.
Yeah, back to work, you crazy Koreans. But anyways, maybe you're a new listener, maybe you're an old listener, but
Maybe you're not.
we want to thank you for joining us. So we're going to start, if you don't know, right, December is normally a very kind of just like...
Super dead month. Really.
Yeah, a lot of ballads, a lot of Christmassy songs, and this podcast, I think, really reflects that.
Yeah, because towards the end of the year, they have like the end of the year award shows, so a lot of the new groups aren't putting out not new groups. A lot of the big groups aren't putting out new music.
Yeah.
So I want to say.
And if they are, it's usually a ballad Christmas song. And, you know, if you're a longtime listener, you know that, you know, while we like certain ballads, we don't talk a lot about them because...
No, not a ton.
They all are kind of the samey. But anyways, that's all to preface that the songs that I think we picked this week were okay. They weren't bad.
They weren't bad, but again, they weren't really knocking it out of the park. But I do have to say, maybe 80% of these names you won't know.
Yeah, I said a lot of names that intro. I don't know most of them. But let's get started with Josh's favorite song of the episode. What is that?
So my favorite song of the episode is K.Will and Davichi with You Call It Romance.
혼자였던 너를 사랑한 많은 사람 중 내가 널 갖게 돼서 행복했어 애매한 두 사람 아니 난 사랑이 되고 이젠 다 내 거라고 믿었는데 링링링링 여전히 바쁜 네 폰 오늘도 불이 나 아직도 넌 그 사람과 질질질질 끌면서 그저 그런 연락일 뿐이래 말 같지도 않아 그 사람과 사랑 아닌 척 사랑하는 널 사랑하는 난 네 바보 난 네 바보 난 네 바보인가 봐 이런 게 어딨어 이런 게 어딨어 하지만 눈 감아줄게 잠시 네가 하는 romance romance 네가 하는 romance romance 네가 나의 romance romance 오래 상처 주지 말아줘 부탁해 혼자였던
I call it different.
I call it pedophilia. That's what I call it.
Right. That's right.
Boom.
That was this music video.
Boom.
Boom. Now, before we get to the music video,
Fucking boom.
before we get to the video, talk about why you picked this song.
So, we preface that this week is a little bit dry in terms of music that we like. There are a lot of kind of in-between songs, and this was, I think, the best of the in-between songs. I've always been a really big fan of K.Will. I do like Davichi's voices and their harmonies, but their kind of musical style doesn't really resonate with me too much. They're kind of more OST singers, a little bit more ballady. I think Steven likes Davichi more than I do, in fact.
I like Davichi when they're not OST, just singing OSTs. Like sometimes they have more of like maybe they're with Verbal Gent.
Yeah.
There was one where they were with like Brave Sound,
Yeah.
and like I was like I like this Davichi because their voices are amazing.
Yeah.
It's not always used in the best way.
And I mean, they do have amazing voices, but then again, it's also not really my kind of music, I guess. I might like the genre, but there's something about Davichi. They really haven't made a song that I've just kind of clung on to, like, this is the song. And this song is no exception. K.Will adds his own K.Will stank to it. K.Will has a certain style he sings. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But Davichi, I do have to say, they added a full new element to this kind of duet, like duet that they're doing, because Davichi is two members, right? Davichi is two members, so they kind of had this like strange kind of harmony and like kind of like, you know, kind of what's the word I'm looking for, Stephen? Where they kind of have like a little bit of interaction that's a little back and forth.
I don't know if there's a proper word for that, because
Yeah, but
I ain't
they
no
got some back-
scientist.
but they got some back and
yeah, they
forth.
play with each other.
Yeah.
They go in and out.
Yeah.
They, you know,
Yeah.
they have some doopy doos in here that are great doopy-doos.
There's a musical term for it, but it's just not coming to mind. But I do have to say, like Davichi, when they come in, they start off like something really, really, really catchy, like the ring, 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 ring part, and that is insanely catchy. And basically, I chose the song because of that. It's really, really catchy. I really like the chorus. It's an easy listen.
It's a good listen.
It's a good listen.
It's a good listen.
I give it 3 good listens. And yeah, it is a song that I normally enjoy. So.
No, I would have to agree with you. If I were to, again, I picked a different song because that's how we do.
Yeah.
Unless we, you know, on the rare occasion we both so, you know, vehemently agree. We're like, this song's got to be it. We'll pick it together.
Yeah.
But I did really like K.Will's. If you didn't pick it, I would have picked it.
Sure.
I love, I mean, K.Will's songs are always kind of, as long as they're not straight ballads, like they're always very playful and fun.
They have a lot of character, we'll say that.
Yeah, and I think Davichi did really well, right?
Yeah.
Like it could have been a boring song, I think.
It could have been very boring, to be honest.
Yeah, but there's enough doopy-doos and enough kind of syncopation-y kind of things where it's just like, all right, I'm really enjoying this.
There's enough to hang your hat on to kind of get you coming back for more, listening more than once. And I think at this kind of point in time, like December, beginning of the new year, you kind of need a song that's kind of has a little bit of staying power.
Yeah, because a lot of the Christmassy ballads are kind of sad, you know, thinking about your love or your lost loves or,
On
you know, blah, blah,
Christmas
blah.
time.
Yeah,
Even though Christmas time has been like almost a month over.
it's true. Well,
I still hear Mariah Carey's like, All I Want for Christmas Is You. I'm like, who the f-?
that's like their favorite song here, though.
But it's like the middle of January right now.
I mean, Christmas wasn't like 7 months ago. It was like 2 weeks ago. I mean,
It's a long ass time, Shingo.
they still play, Love Actually still plays in the movie theaters here around Christmas. I mean,
Is that true?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of my students went. They were like, I'm like, what are you doing on Christmas? They're like, we're watching a movie. I'm like, oh, what movie you watching? They're like, Love Actually. I'm like, what the heck?
What are you?
Why
like,
is Love Actually playing? And
Are you going to go to Starbucks? Perhaps do some yoga? Let me see your shoes. Are they UGG boots?
is this a Love Actually thing? Because
No, it's a white basic girl.
Oh, it's
thing.
a basic bitch thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Drinking Starbucks in UGG boots.
Well,
and
a lot of
watching Love
Koreans
Actually.
are basic bitches because I think it comes back every year around the time because Christmas is a date holiday in Korea. It's primarily for dates.
couples. Yeah.
You know, unlike America. So I think that's a really good date, you know, movie sort of to bring
Yeah,
it
kind of
into.
a holiday romance movie.
Yeah. It's better than like The Hateful Eight or The Revenant or whatever, like in America. That
But
was
I super
Christmas.
want to watch both of those.
That's true. We're going to watch Hateful Eight tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
hopefully.
But let's talk about the music video before we get off into a different topic.
Yeah. You know, K.Will music videos
So I
are
mentioned-
notorious, right, for being strange.
So
Or-
I mentioned earlier,
You did.
not too far in the past, pedophilia. Now, Steven and I have a different kind of opinion on
a little
this
different.
music video. It's slightly different, but not really that different. if you watch this music video and you saw a clip of it that Steven put in, so it's about this teacher that we can assume is a teacher.
Yeah.
She has a boyfriend, or at least some guy that she's seeing, and
Like another teacher, maybe?
yeah, and one of her students, or one of the students at the school she works in, gives her a lollipop.
Yeah.
And she's this adult, you know, I have life insurance, I pay taxes, I eat balanced meals and not McDonald's before we record podcasts.
We never do that.
Yeah, we never do that. And then all of a sudden she kind of is like, oh, what if I dated this guy and, you know, I kind of reverted to this younger version of myself, more playful, more kiddish, a little bit more immature. And she kind of goes and takes that daydream a little bit too far, I think. She actually goes on a date with this student.
Yeah, we weren't entirely sure if any of that was real.
Yeah,
Right.
Steven thinks it's all a dream
Yeah.
or a fantasy.
Yeah.
I think it was real, but the student is a college student, and so it's not so pedophile-y.
I think it's a high school student.
Steven thinks it's a high school student, and he thinks that it's a fantasy. I think it's a college student, and it's
And it's real. Which one's worse, though?
that's
Yeah,
up
you're
to
right.
you to decide,
That's true.
viewers.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, I understand the concept, right? The concept is like, oh, you know, I don't want to be an adult where I have like adult, like K-drama-esque relationship. I want to, the young love, you know, revert back to when I was carefree and blah, blah, blah. And I get that, but I think it's a little too far when you're fantasizing about dating one of your students.
I think they could have just taken out the student aspect about it.
Just made it a
would have
young-
done fine. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a younger guy.
Yeah.
Because Steven and I, when we first were watching it, we thought like, oh, she has to choose between like an oppa type guy or like a younger chingu type
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Because as you guys know, in Korea, there's like kind of like an age hierarchy. And a lot of Korean girls will have kind of one or the other style. The most popular style actually is that girls kind of like an oppa, just someone to kind of like take care of them or like kind of treat them really, really well, like a man should. But a lot of girls...
Well, sometimes they don't need to do all that shit.
Yeah.
They don't need to
They're-
pay for everything.
yeah.
They don't need to like drop everything that they're
Yeah.
doing at the,
Yeah.
you know, on a dime and
Yeah,
go get
but
you.
like it's supposed to be like someone who's supposed to take care of you and all that,
Right.
but taken to a little bit further degree. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, a lot of girls like a guy who they feel comfortable with, who kind of is like more of a friend and they can be themselves around, be more comfortable around. And this kind of plays on that. And I really think they could have just done away with the whole student thing and still got that concept across.
Well, we didn't even realize really it was a student until like the very end, and
He's
we
in
were
like
like,
a uniform.
we were like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like in a uniform, giving the flowers to another teacher or whatever.
Or candy to another.
Yeah, and it was just so weird because like the concept makes sense.
Yeah,
right? Just
yeah.
make him a younger man.
Yeah.
You didn't need to make him a student. Like, but yeah, this was a music video where a grown ass woman is fantasizing about her student, whether it's a college student.
It might not be her
Or a high school student.
but it's definitely a student at the school she works at. Right.
Wait, what?
Because it never like kind of shows any scene that we think that he's her student, right?
Oh, you're saying her student. Yeah.
He is
sure.
a student,
Okay, yeah,
but
okay.
she might just work at the school or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at our school, in our admin building, we have like really young kind of workers who are like 20, 21 years old. So,
Sure.
I mean, even
And even still,
if it's a high
not-
school,
don't do
if
that.
it's a high school,
Don't do that.
yeah, it's not right both ways.
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
That's
Don't do
no,
that.
no.
It's a no.
That's a no.
It's an anio. Don't do it. Anyways,
Steven.
that was a good song though. I did like that song. But I picked a very different song.
Yeah.
Very different. This song is by 3 chingus who can all sing in their own unique ways. And that is Hyorin, Bumkey, and Jooyoung with their song Love Line.
I gotta kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, you are.
지금 네 마음을 말해줘. I never lie about my mind. 그
Now, Hyorin, of course, from Sistar.
Yep.
Amazing singer. Bumkey, who's been gone for a while due to some incidents.
Yeah, he's a very popular R&B artist. He's also part of Troy.
He is. And Jooyoung, of course, just the Starship Chingu that Hyorin has done things with in the past, like Wet.
And Erase.
Erase was the duet, sorry. Wet
Yeah.
was Wet Jooyoung?
Only Jooyoung.
Was
I
just
think, yeah.
Jooyoung.
Yeah.
Both good songs.
Both
though.
good songs,
Both
yeah.
really good songs.
Check them out if you don't have them.
So we were really excited for this. We were like, yo, we got Hyorin, we got Bumkey, we got Jooyoung. This
we're
is
like, yo, this is gonna be
like,
good.
Like, give me some towels because I need to dry myself after this.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, it's wet time. All right, you're gonna have to erase. Nope, I couldn't think of
I'm
a
gonna have to
transition for that.
erase that from my mind, Steve.
There it is. There it is, baby. Now, on first listen,
Yep.
I think we were both. I think you were more disappointed than me, but
I
we
think so,
were
yeah.
both kind of disappointed with the song.
Yeah.
We were like, man, like
They can sing.
they can sing,
Yeah.
but having three singers of very different types of singing, like
and we're like, oh, this
genres.
is gonna mix and it's gonna be good. And they kind of just do their own thing, right?
yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of back and forth, but there's definitely a distinct, like this is Hyorin's part,
This is a
and it's
Bumkey
very
part.
it's different than Bumkey's part. It's different than Jooyoung's part. But I told Josh, after that listen, because he was like, meh, I was like, yo, I think on the 10th listen, this song is going to be the shit.
Stephen called it. He's like, this is gonna be a mushroom song.
Yeah. And we're not at 10 listens, but I think we're at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But like this song definitely, I really like this song because it was so different, especially for this episode.
Yeah.
There's like no songs that are kind of remotely like this. It's
Yeah.
very upbeat R&B
Yeah.
kind of a song. And I mean, I love Hyorin's voice.
Yeah.
Jooyoung, actually, his part is not that long, but I really did like the Jooyoung part.
I think I like his part the most.
The most?
out of the 3, yeah.
Yeah, I think Hyorin's part is oddly a lot of the song.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you got these 3 singers, you should have them go back and forth in and out more. Like that would
Yeah.
make more sense. But it's a little kind of like the cut cake where it's like
Yeah.
here's your part, here's your part, here's your part.
Yeah, especially with Hyorin, I thought that Hyorin and Jooyoung would kind of mix together a little bit better, and maybe Bumkey would kind of get, demoted to chorus status or like kind of breakdown status, because Hyorin is actually kind of her voice is kind of hard to match, just because it's so kind of distinct. And it kind of has its own flavor that doesn't really mesh well with other types of voices, I feel.
No, it's true. I mean, that's why Soyu is the duet queen, right?
Yeah,
And not
because Soyu has a little bit more like malleable kind of voice.
Yeah.
Hyorin is a little bit kind of stuck in her style, but Jooyoung does a fantastic job of kind of pairing with her. So I was really, really excited for it. But there's not as much back and forth, not as much harmony as I'd like. It's more of kind of like Hyorin's song is this part, Bumkey's song is this. It's all of these artists singing their version of this song. And while that can be good sometimes, this time it didn't really kind of knock it out of the park for me. I understand it's a good song. I'm not gonna say it's not a good song. If Steven didn't pick this, if he picked K.Will, I'd have picked this song. But it still stands. I kind of wanted more. It was a little bit lacking in some aspects.
And that might just be an expectation thing, right? Because we were expecting a lot more. But I do think that, again, by the 10th listen, I think I'm going to be really into it. I really think so.
I think so.
But I also think this song is a very good representation of 2015. Like, I think it has great musical qualities, right? But it's not the catchiest of songs, right? Like that, I think was, if
Very
anything
true.
summarized 2015 for us, at least, I think it was that, which is, the music quality and the music range has
Kinda going
grown
up.
so
It's
much.
going up for sure.
But the catchiness of songs have, I think, kind of gone down.
Yeah. And I mean, that is kind of growing pains, I feel like.
Yeah.
When you have kind of an era where everything is really super poppy and catchy, and then you kind of want to expand your horizons a little bit. Of course, you're going to have some hits, and of course, you're going to have some misses.
Yeah.
But in general, if you're used to one thing and you don't get it, then you're going to notice it's gone.
No. So we have high hopes for 2016.
Yep.
We're probably going to talk about what our hopes are for 2016 in our after show. So stay tuned, of course.
In the ass end of our show.
Ooh. Speaking of ass ends, Josh.
Oh, God.
This is something that if you liked things in your ass, you'd want it.
Say that again.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. That was a really bad transition.
You're so bad at transitions. You should let me transition.
I should let you, but I don't like to.
Yeah.
So if you're a K-pop fan in America, and if you don't live on the East or West Coast, like this motherfucker right here lives on the West Coast, it's pretty much impossible to see your favorite K-pop groups in concert, especially since a lot of those concerts are being canceled left and right because of these shady dealings.
Yep.
Like I think recently BTS has some issues.
Yeah. A lot of people are pretty disappointed about that.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I would be, because, I've said this before in a podcast, but I remember being so crazy happy when Wonder Girls was trying their thing in America.
Mm-hmm.
They picked Texas as one of their stops, which was really surprising because nobody ever picks Texas. And I got to go watch them. And I convinced like 5 people who knew nothing about K-pop to just come with me because they knew how much I liked them. And we got to see them. I was so happy. But if you didn't live in Texas, if you didn't live in those
California?
5 cities, you probably didn't have the chance. And
But now we live in a new age, Steven.
we do live in a new age, the internet age. And of course, the hottest concert of last year was Big Bang's Made concert.
Oh, yeah.
And if you weren't lucky enough to see it, Drama Fever has your back. They have the entire concert filmed with subtitles for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
Just go to dfvr.co/TWICBigBangMade to experience the entire concert.
Yeah.
Do I want to do this again? Yes, I will. Don't be a loser, baby. If you want to see one of the best K-pop groups perform their hearts out and go out with a bang, 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 go to dfvr.co/TWICBigBangMade to let Drama Fever know that our Chingus aren't sober and that we like to party. Once you experience the concert, it's so hard not to fall in love.
Zutter.
Jodo! All right. Josh, what's the next song you want to talk about?
So our next song that we want to talk about in our main section, part 1, is kind of a song that when it first came out, I kind of had it on my radar because it was a song that I heard quite often. But now that time has passed and it's been released, it's not as good, but I still want to mention it. Mm-hmm. That song is Zico featuring Zion.T with Eureka.
Hold on. Zico. Zion.T. 만지고 싶어 우리를 바지 속에 느껴 안 달라가지고는 줄줄 따라다니고 Where you at Eureka. See that? Oh gosh, it's hot. 눈에 딱 들어와. 들어갈 땐 들어가고 나올 땐 나온 여자. 타이탄 위아래 입체감에 뻑가. 소방차를 불러 화재의 중심은 옆발에. 가만히 있어도 네 몸이 널 자꾸 과시해. 아까워 반성남 눈요기 거리로 남기엔 에이. 야한 여성은 뜻밖의 영감을 줘. 좀 발칙한 상상 얼마나 좋아. 만지고 싶어 우리를 바지 속에 느껴 안 달라가지고는 줄줄 따라다니고 Where you at Eureka. See that? So sexy Eureka. Awesome 완벽한 비유 괴력이 넘쳐 흘러내리는 춤 드디어 깨달았어 You are so beautiful And I say Eureka 19금 딱지로도 널 가릴 순 없지.
He doesn't say it right, though. He says
Eureka.
it like Eureka.
Because that's the Korean way to say it.
True that. Eureka. So you mentioned this actually in our top 10 2015 where you were like, oh, but I also, because we talked about boys and girls, and you were like, oh, I also like Eureka, and I hadn't heard it back then. Now that I've heard it, I can totally see why you liked it.
Yeah.
And I can totally kind of see why it wasn't our top 10. Or what? Although you did say that it might have been, right? If it came out a little earlier or something?
The reason why I didn't put it in my top 10 is because Zico as kind of like a collection of works, he didn't put out one song that I believe deserved to be in the top 10, but combined like Eureka and Boys and Girls and, you know, all that. Like,
There's another one in there.
yeah, I can't remember which one it is. But if you combine all those works, then he probably could have slipped somewhere in the bottom. But this
I
song,
I like Boys and Girls a lot.
yeah, I mean, this song is pretty good. It's not Boys and Girls quality or kind of Boys and Girls catchiness, but pretty good still, I think.
I agree. I think I've said this with Zico songs, maybe in that top 10, where I was like, I think if AOMG produced this track, it would have been way better. Like like it has kind of the AOMG flavor.
Yeah.
It kind of has that like OMGT like Joro, like where the chorus
That
is like a
weird-
break, and then he kind
brass
of
instrument
does a
like-
thing. Yeah. But like, you know, Zion.T, you like Zion.T. I have liked Zion.T, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, I thought Zion.T's part was like, meh, meh.
I agree with you. Zion.T was really not good in this song. I really wish he had chose someone
Somebody
else.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't think it matched really. Because Zion.T's got a very specific song. You know, he doesn't really go in a hype song, right?
No,
Like,
I don't feel really
it's
hyped
weird.
when I'm listening to Zion.T.
and this song is, I think, kind of hypey, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of has that build up. It's like da 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 da, and it stops, and then you say the title track
Yeah.
name, right?
Yeah, Joro, right?
Or
Mapsosa, right?
you think Fantastic Baby?
Is it Fantastic Baby?
Wow.
We like to party? Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Can't think of any other. But yeah, I thought it was okay. But definitely, you know, if you like the Zico, check out Tough Cookie.
That song is still really catchy though.
No, I've never listened to it, and I refuse to ever listen to it again.
Cookie.
I refuse.
Tough cookie.
Yeah, yeah. There's like a part in the music video where he's like thrown in a tub of milk. And I read the comments like, "Oh my god, that's a Tough Cookie reference," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." Never mention that song to me ever again.
Calm down.
Okay, sorry.
Tough cookie.
I'm a tough cookie. I high five people. Hip hop.
Tough cookie.
Sorry, I'm not Bobby.
Tough cookie.
I can't high five people for hip hop. But anyways, my turn. You chose Zico. The second song that I wanted to talk about, bring to your attention, is by a dude. I think a very veteran Korean singer.
Yeah.
I think his name is Lee Moonsae or E Moonsae, and our boy Roy Kim. Roy Kim featuring Phantom's Hanhae with their song This Christmas.
Yo, Happy Christmas. Yo.
I really love you like this Christmas. I really love you this time. 꿈이라고 믿을 만큼 행복한 거야. 너와 함께 있는 이번 크리스마스. 눈이라도 내린다면 날아갈 거야. 너와 함께 저 별로 This Christmas. I really love you like this Christmas. I really love you this time.
Okay. 몇 번의 봄, 몇 번의 여름, 옷깃 여미던가 그리고 다시 겨울 너와 함께 있어 널브러진 나의 삶이 정돈이 된 것 같아 수많은 내 맘의 빚을 언제 갚지 그리고 맞은 이 크리스마스 특별할 수밖에 지금 이 시간 너에게 담백하고 솔직하려고 해 나의 음악처럼 이 가사를 쓰며 두근대는 이 순간처럼
I really love you like this Christmas. I really love you this time.
너 생일보다
But Steven, Christmas was 2 weeks ago.
And this song was released 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But maybe you didn't know, but remember we took a break because of our top 10. We were like, we're going to talk about all of those in January.
Yeah.
And here we are. And there were a lot of Christmas songs kind of on our list, but this one was my favorite one by far. I think sometimes, like for example, the Zico song, like I think there was just too much Zico. It was just kind of too much of one dude. Okay, and sometimes in ballads, like I think that's why K.Will song is so good because it's not just too much of K.Will. It's K.Will, the Davichi comes in, then K.Will comes back, and Davichi comes in. And I think this song, this song does that too. Like Moonsae comes in, and then Roy Kim hits it with the chorus, which I think is really great. And then Hanhae comes in with a little bit of rap, and then there's like even a point where like they're all singing at the same time
and rapping
included, right?
Yeah.
Like he's rapping, Moonsae is singing, Roy Kim is singing the chorus, and it all just kind of wraps together in this like bow of like, this is a good listen.
And it was like. So Steven and I really like that kind of breakdown where kind of the tracks and layers are kind of overlapping, and the singing or rapping or singing and like another singing, or if it's like singing the chorus and someone's kind of ad-libbing. But this was really good, but it was almost to the point of where it was just noise. Like it was just so much layering, because usually two layers is really good, right? You have like someone singing the chorus, or kind of just the backing track, and you have one person ad-libbing or kind of like, harmonizing or adding their own kind of, flavor to it. But this one, it was Moonsae, Roy Kim, and Hanhae, like all at the same time. And I think it would have been all right if it was just singing, but Hanhae's rapping also in it kind of almost put it to a point where it's really disjointed for me. And I think I would have liked the song more if Hanhae didn't rap in that part, actually.
Yeah, they all kind of conglomerate near the end for like 10 or 15 seconds. But I think I'm going to listen to it again to see if it really bothers me, because, listening on my computer is very different than listening to headphones. And there are some songs where like I didn't even notice there was this part in the melody, or I didn't even notice there was this part in the backing sound until I was listening with my good headphones. So
for me, it was like at the cusp of like being noisy.
But I thought it was good noise.
It is. Good noise. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like this song a lot. But that part kind of, could have been bad if they weren't careful about it.
True. But I really do like Roy Kim's chorus. Like he hits this like specific notes that are like, I think in a normal
very
song
calming.
It would have been like da da da, but he went like da 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 or something. Like there's like a little like this Christmas, like he could have like popped it up a little.
Yeah.
But he chose to do like a very, I don't know how to describe it.
It's kind of like melancholy.
Yeah, it puts this a little weird kind of stank to it that I'm just like, Roy Kim
stank. It's not.
I kind of enjoy that. I enjoy it more than his solo ballads that he did. Yeah. But I like me some Roy Kim. I like some Bum Bum Bum. I like me some Bang Bang Bang. I don't know. He had another song where it was just the same word.
Boom or something.
I don't know. But anyways, I think that's it for part number 1. Those are the songs that we chose as kind of our number 1s and number 2s. Part 2 will be my picks, and part 3 will be some of Josh's picks that we just want to talk about.
Yeah.
So hopefully stay tuned if you're on YouTube. If you're on the audio version, you're gonna hear it anyways.
Sorry.
All right, part 2. My picks.
Yep.
My name is Steven.
Hello, Steven.
Hi, how are you?
I'm full of McDonald's.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Okay.
I didn't ask you.
Yeah,
I say that all the time to my students. They go, I'm fine, thank you. And you? I'm like, I didn't ask you.
I'm like, I didn't ask you and I would never.
But of course, I say it in Korean, like, 안 물어봤거든?